Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the Dahlia of course did release not too long ago, and just a bit after that we got the 3.8 APOC Shadow. Now of course this would have been the final APOC Shadow of version 3, but after all the delays and stuff there's going to be another one, but oh well, that's besides the point. Today what we want to see is first of all if Dahlia can make our Firefly strong enough to clear APOC Shadow on our alt account where our units are not the best built. When it comes to the teams we're going to be using, for the first half we're going Firefly, Dahlia of course, also Fugue and Lingsha, and then we will be taking the break effect buff, and then on the second half we will be going for the Herta, Tribbie and Anaxa as well as Heng PT. Now the Argenti boss really favors break, and then if you take a look at these buffs as well, the break damage stuff is just crazy. Also, all characters here are E0S0, but full character builds will be at the end. But real quick, if you want to pull any characters, then I have the perfect thing for you, and that's the sponsor, lootbar.gg. You can use Lootbar to top up on your favorite games like Honkai Style or Genshin Impact and save up to 25%, along with great value offers like the all-in-one bundle, guaranteed limited and rerun character bundles, and the limited 6,480 generic shards pack that lasts for the first week of the brand new version. And costs only $70 as opposed to the $100 it would in game. And between December 23rd and the 30th, you can join the Lootbar Christmas Draw event where you can get 100% off coupons and other grand rewards, where there is a guaranteed free win for the first draw, and the first purchase during the event grants double Lootbar points. If I were to buy the 3,280 generic shards and get double with the top-up bonus, all I have to do is enter in my UID, region, and go to top-up now, and they typically arrive in less than a minute. Creators like DuckTV and Jello Impact are also collaborating with Lootbar, so they are trustworthy, and they also have thousands of positive reviews on Trustpilot. Also, new users can get 10% off, and returning users can get up to 8% off in the first week of the new version. So be sure to check out Lootbar with the link in the description. Back to the video. Alright, well, and here we are on the first half. Now, we did clear this APOC Shadow on our main account, and we got a score of just shy of 3,400 using a well-invested Finon alongside Saridra, Sunday and Heng PT. So I'm hoping for maybe an even better score here, because although the units here aren't as well invested in, nor are they as optimized, of course this is a very, very break favored, both APOC Shadow as well as boss. So yeah, anyway, let's just go ahead and I think weakness break this little guy here, and then we go ahead and pop our ult on Firefly, and then pop our Dahlia ult as well for some extra weakness break, for some extra fire weakness break, and then also the implant. And then let's go ahead and use our skill on our Firefly, because we can't target Argenti quite yet. There we go, now we can. I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do here is actually, do I want to use my skill here? Actually, yeah, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and use our skill here because we don't need to use it on Fugue. We can use our basic attack there instead. Actually, we will have the basic attack here on Lingsha because it will be Firefly going soon. Let's go ahead and pop our ultimate to do just as much damage as we can to the summons, and now let's go ahead and hit Argenti and hopefully take out the two summons right beside him as well, like so. There we go. And he is already weakness broken. Okay then, I don't think this is going to last very long. Now let's go ahead and deal a bit of extra toughness damage here. Of course, we're doing weakness break damage, and then we will get a big chunk of damage once again if we can break the extra toughness bar, which we should be able to do with just one Firefly skill. And there we go, in just 100 AV, we have weakness broken this guy, undone 51% of his HP bar, which we love to see. So by probably 1800 AV, we should be done with the first phase, and then should be going to the second phase with quite a lot of AV to spare. So we are very much on the schedule to get a good clear here. 1% strikes again, but luckily Dahlia strikes even stronger. So we go ahead and, you know, love to see it. Let's go ahead and deal a bit of fire weakness break damage again. And I would use my skill here, but let's go ahead and just basic attack. Now let's go ahead and break the extra toughness bar with our Firefly. Pop our ultimate here. Unfortunately, we didn't have our Dahlia ult to implant any fire weakness, so we're gonna have to do it with our Firefly instead. So let's go right down the middle, double weakness break these two adjacent ones, and then implant fire and basically break it by targeting it. Anyway, let's go ahead and use all of our skills here, and there we go. Basically all of these summons should be gone after this Lingsha ultimate. Yes, they are perfect. And now we just need to do as much weakness bar damage to Argenti as we can. We go ahead and then skill plus ultimate on our Dahlia. You know, the damage here from her is insane, but the utility right now is very crazy. The damage would of course be better if we did have her on Iron Cavalry, but unfortunately we don't. Also should say HMC would be decent here, but if anyone's wondering why I don't use HMC, I know sometimes HMC is better to Fugue. The problem is that my HMC has 0 Eidolons, because like I said, this isn't the main account. Oh, I can't target the middle one, that's unlucky. Oh, is the taunt based on party location? Should I have maybe put Firefly in the second slot? That's interesting. Maybe I should have done that. Yeah, maybe that could have sped up our clear a bit. But anyway, what was I saying again? Because I forgot. That's awkward. Oh yeah, my HMC has no Eidolons whatsoever, because like I said, alt count, so I don't bother building my characters the same as I do on, I don't do the quests as I would on my main account. I'm not even doing the quests on my main account yet. I've given myself a deadline to finish the Amphora's quest. I haven't done yet, as well as 3.8, so I need to do 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, and I will be doing that in the middle of January, because that's when I am back at my setup, and also I have no assignments going on for uni whatsoever. I still have 2 left, so I haven't been able to get to it over the Christmas break, but during those 2 weeks in January, I will definitely catch up on everything HSR and Genshin. That is a promise I make to myself and everyone here, so, you know, you guys are my witnesses here. Anyway, I feel like we could have probably sped up our clear here a little bit if we had Firefly in the second slot and maybe could whittle down Argenti's weakness bar a bit more. It took us 200 AV to clear the first half. Right now, it's looking a bit more like we're going to clear in about 250. Never mind. Okay, so we're going to take around 300... Yeah, about 375 AV to clear the second half. So yeah, our second half clear was almost half the speed of our first half clear, which is unlucky. I definitely feel like we could have gone better than 3500 if I knew the mechanics of the boss a bit better. Yeah, you know what, doesn't really matter. With that being said, I'm still happy with 3500. With that being said, let's hop onto the second half. Alright then, and here we are on the second half up against the banana boss. Now this was basically a rapper boss, but I'd say Herta is probably the second best character to use against this boss. So if you're using your break team in the first half, or if you don't have a rapper, then definitely Herta is probably the best way to go for this boss. But like I said, this account doesn't have the best investment, and Herta came out at this point quite a while ago, so it's definitely interesting to see how she's gonna hold up, because if there's one thing we know about a Star Rail, it's that in the 0.7/0.8 versions is normally when you start seeing HP inflation going up in preparation for the next version, which it was definitely reflected in the 3.7 Memory of Chaos. We'll have to see how that carries on in 3.8, and that second of all, characters love falling off in Star Rail, so we'll just have to go ahead and see how Herta's premium team goes ahead and performs. I mean, so far so good though, because we're getting pretty close to weakness breaking this guy after only about less than 100 AV. So if we could actually pull that off, that would be pretty huge, if I say so myself. Don't think we will be able to. No, we're about 2 attacks short, which is unlucky. You know, if we had gotten an Anaxa ultimate, then maybe we could have pulled it off, but it's fine. It won't take much to turn that around. Let's just go ahead and continue with what we were doing. We will be getting our Anaxa online shortly. I'm actually surprised by the fact that we didn't have the energy from our ultimate yet, but that's fine. This should weakness break, I believe. Yes, it does. Perfect. So now we can go ahead and use our Herta ultimate. Let's see how much the Herta ultimate does first. Okay, thanks for all those animations, wasting our time a bit. It took, by the way, 150 AV to break those guys. Okay, nice. 900k from the ultimate. And then go ahead and just use that Heng ultimate so that we can get some extra energy in for our Herta. And then use our skill, which deals over 2 million damage. But health percentage wise, that isn't quite as much as Firefly was doing to the other boss. So Anaxa isn't really doing stuff here, because I mean, his personal damage in, first of all, AoE, second of all in Herta teams just isn't incredible. He's more so there for just how quickly he's able to generate her ultimate with his double skills and stuff. But yeah, I mean, let's see how much we do on our skill. This time from 53% to 39%, so that's only 14%, and that's again over 2 million damage. So yeah, this guy is absolutely soaking up our damage. I don't think we're going to be able to take him out before he gets his weakness bar back. On the bright side, like I said, we weakness break very quickly on this team because we have so much AoE damage between the dragon attack, Anaxa's double attacks and ultimate, Tribbie's follow-up attacks and ultimate, and Blast's basic attack. And then also with Herta, of course, with her skill, ult, and then once again a free skill after that as well. So yeah, we should be able to weakness break pretty damn quickly. Unfortunately, we don't do that much damage before weakness breaking either, but yeah, not much you can do about that. Although, like I said, we still are at 1700 AV and we are weakness breaking once again. So I am still relatively confident that we will be able to get a average clear, which is about 3.3k. Obviously, if you get 3.3k is kind of like the minimum you're aiming for, because if you get 3.3k on both sides, then you can get 6.6 and get all stars. Although it's fine to also have a stronger half, like we kind of did with Firefly, which allows our second half to slack off a bit. Although, you know, you would hope that basically these probably like this second character that this boss was designed for was probably Herta, along with the fact that this MOC gives us a skill damage increase and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, anyway, this should weakness break here. If my calcs are correct. Okay, never mind, it doesn't, but Tribbie's follow-up attack does, and then we can just go ahead and quickly finish this off with a Herta ultimate. No problemo, there we go. So we did actually clear in 1600, so we are actually on track for a 3.3k clear basically right now, which is nice to see. We'll just have to hope that doesn't fall off. These guys are all gonna take their turns, but that's fine. Sorry, it's with the way that it's been getting so dark, I'm just so tired right now, even though I've done basically nothing all day. Well, anyway, with that, although with that being said, I do hope that you guys did have a good Christmas time / holiday time. You know, mine pretty you know, just standard, nothing incredible happened, but you know what, I don't mind that. Anyway, with that being said, I think we need to lock in a bit more on the run here. Just go ahead and refresh our Tribbie ult as well as skill. Gives us our Herta stuff back. Now we won't be weakness breaking anytime soon, so there's no point in sitting on her skill. Let's just go ahead and continue to use that to weakness break these guys a bit more. We'll also deal a bit more chip down, so that hopefully these guys don't live on 1%. Because I have a very bad habit of 1%ing in HSR, mainly in Memory of Curse, to be fair, not APOC Shadow. But yeah, that is besides the point. Go ahead and use our ult on Heng as well. More follow-up attacks from Tribbie, very nice for the break counter. So this guy is on 2 out of 3, so let's go ahead and weakness break him. Unfortunately, that won't be enough, so we'll just have to carry on with our AoE abilities before we weakness break. And then we'll probably have to go ahead and do this one more time if we're being realistic. And there we go. Okay, we're gonna weakness break 3 of these guys at the same time. It's fine. I feel like we could have optimized that a bit more. I feel like we could have weakness broken a bit sooner, but at the end of the day, it's not the biggest problem in the world. Go ahead and ult here on our Anaxa as well. Tribbie follow-up attack into Herta ultimate. Now I could technically go into a skill ult skill, but honestly all that really does is waste a skill point here. We don't need that many more turns on Herta. Okay, I accidentally targeted the wrong enemy there, which is slightly awkward. It's fine, it shouldn't be the biggest problem at the end of the day. Anyway, Anaxa continuing to do between 160 to 240k. Basic attack once again on Heng, because there's basically no point in us using our shield here. We skill and then we will get our Herta ultimate back. We're still sitting on Tribbie's ultimate so that we can proc down stance after our Herta's action. Actually, maybe we can wait for after Tribbie's action, because then that will give us the ult extension technically, and we'll still do the same effect, because technically this would still be like the same cycle, it's just Tribbie's really slow. So we're still getting good value out of the DB, not the DBD. Oh my god, I've been playing too much Dead by Daylight in the last couple of months. No, DDD, dance. Let's not get that twisted. Anyway, continuing to do some decent damage here. Okay, I don't mind that attack. Gives us our next ultimate, which is very nice of them. Continue to make these guys' counter tick up so that we are getting closer and closer to the weakness breaking the boss, and then finally finishing it off. Interestingly enough, so we are at 1363 AV. I would have expected us to be clearing slightly faster, if I'm being entirely honest. But it is what it is. Go ahead and, actually I'm going to basic attack there because I feel like we can maybe weakness break this guy before our Herta goes again. Let's go ahead and use our Tribbie ultimate here because like I said, we do have a lot of AoE damage sources here. So, I say that, and we go to basically the only one which doesn't deal more than single target, but the dragon does, at least. But unfortunately, no, we were not able to go before our skill, so let's go ahead and use our skill now. These guys are starting to get back up, but that won't last for very long with Anaxa's double skills, like so. Just don't do anything super annoying, please. Okay, that works well for us, actually, so thank you for that. We are slightly below 1300, but we have a lot of ults coming online soon. Never mind, I guess I'll just go, yeah, it's fine. We should still clear within 1200, which, like I said, is slightly below average, and I would have hoped for a bit more. But with how strong our first half was, Firefly is still basically going to carry us to a clear here. Let's see, after that Tribbie ult, there we go. After the Tribbie follow-up, we go ahead and weakness break. And now we can go ahead and use our skill on our Herta. Like so, and there we go. This should, okay, yeah, this will definitely deal 9%, what am I saying? Yeah, basically 2 million damage, deals 9%, and there we go. We got a clear of nearly 6,800, which I will definitely go ahead and take. So, yeah, very happy with how that went. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the character builds and outro. Alright, well then, the second half was starting to get a bit close, but our first half clear was just strong enough in order to allow us to fully clear APOC Shadow, which is very nice. It's been a while since we full cleared an endgame mode on this account. When it comes to our character build, starting off with our Firefly, over 3k HP, 153 speed. Like I said, unfortunately we can't hit the 178 speed tuning that we want. And then we also don't have Dance 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 to get a lower one. Break effect before any buffs is at 190 currently. We also have the Herta Store Light Control of a Neon. We do have our ultimate maxed out, skill level 9, talent level 8. Relics, we do have the break effect set, speed, break effect, attack with speed and break effect, speed boots with break effect, and then on the Kalpani set with break effect but no speed, and then break effect rope with speed. For our Eidolons, E0, of course, and now for Dahlia, over 4k HP, 146 speed, 200% break effect before any buffs. Light cones at, we are using the tutorial light cone because we don't have a Pearl light cone. That the only one we have is on our Fugue. And I'd rather have tutorial on Dahlia than I do on Fugue because I find her important, her ult to be more important. So yeah, hopefully we can get enough one of those. We'll see in the future. Traces, we do have 10 on the talent as well as on the ultimate. Relics, we don't have good enough pieces on the Iron Cavalry set. So instead we are on 2-piece break with speed, break effect, speed, break effect again, and then speed boost with break effect. And then once again we are on the Forge set with defense and break effect as our main stats. Eidolons E0 as well. For our Fugue, we do hit over 160 speed. We also have over 4k HP, 162 break effect before buffs. 59.1% effect hit rate as well at the beginning. Like I said, Pulse Light Cone, Traces, our talent is maxed out and so is our skill, but not our ultimate or basic attack. And then for our relics, once again, Iron Cavalry, basically all you'll see on this team for the most part, if it's available at least. And same can be said for the Forge set, where once again we go for HP and break effect. Eidolons E0. When it comes to our Lingsha, 144 speed, 2k attack or 2.1k attack as well, 172 break effect before buffs. S5 of the break effect light cone, the F2P break effect light cone. We could technically also go for the Master Raka light cone as well. Traces, we do have the ultimate maxed out, and then talent as well as skill on level 9. Relics, once again, Iron Cavalry, speed break effect, speed break effect with healing bonus, and then speed boots with break effect as well. And then once again, Forge, attack main stat, and then energy recharge main stat for the rope, and then Eidolons E0 once again. So yeah, a lot of same stuff there all across the board. For our Herta, 3.2k attack, over 134 speed, 78 crit rate, as well as 114 crit damage. But of course, those do go up in battle. We are also on the Himiko light cone, which was good for this side because we basically always have 5 enemies on the field. Trace is basically maxed out, and then we are on the Scholar set as well. And then once again, we are also on the E0S0 set as well, so we do end up with 12 extra crit rate as well. And then Eidolons E0. When it comes to our Anaxa, on 3.3k attack, 117 speed. Oh wait, I just realized this is our hyper carry Anaxa build. I forgot to switch him over to speed boots to have him on the Herta build. So yeah, whoops, that's my mistake. I have not used him as a support in so long that I forgot I have a completely separate build for him. That is slightly awkward. Anyway, we do have him on the event Lagon. So yeah, that Herta team score definitely could have been increased, although not sure if it would have made the biggest difference in the world, but it definitely would have made one, at least a noticeable one. Speed, double crit rate with speed, and then attack as well. I actually no, I did go through the pieces for Herta. I just forgot for a second. E0, sorry, I'm losing my mind a bit. I am a bit sick right now. 4.5k HP on Tribbie, base speed, 46 crit, 163 crit damage. Dance, S3, sadly not S5. Actually wait, I think I got a copy of Dance recently. Yes, I did. So let's go ahead and make this S4, I suppose. Could be useful sometimes, you never know. Anyway, Eidolons, E0 relics on the powered set, and then we are on the Fleet of the Ageless set because we just want to buff up our Anaxa as well as our Herta. Could go for a bit more personal damage as well now that I actually have those pieces, but beforehand I didn't, so this is what I was using. And then finally our Heng PT, 3.3k attack, 138 speed on Archer's light gun, because we did get this from doing enough pulls during version 3.4, which is our highest basic attack light gun that we own. Traces maxed out on the brand new Shielder set, so our entire team gets a bit extra crit damage as well, and then also on Lushako, so our Herta gets a bit more attack percentage as well, and then Eidolons E0. So yeah, with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know how you found this APOC Shadow, and you know, you guys were right, the first half is definitely very strong for break, including Firefly. But yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.